All right, so if you guys were wondering why I've been so busy and haven't really been putting videos out. Now, the shop is busy, I will give it that. Very glad, very thankful for the shop being busy. Also, well, for you guys that are in my close proximity, you probably already know, I've been looking to buy an acreage. And my wife and I signed the paperwork for the mortgage yesterday. So that's part of the reason I've been so busy is we've been looking at acreages, looking at houses and all that stuff. So we got something, when I get the keys, I will show you guys. Some of the content that's gonna be coming up here in the next little while is going to be acreage, shop building, that type of stuff. Now, I want to show you some things that I have been kind of working on. Get your point, see whether you guys are interested in seeing that stuff. I'm kind of like, I don't mind videoing it. I'm probably going to, but let me know what you guys think. So we obviously have the truck. Now this truck, for you guys that are new to the channel, this has a P-Pump 6.7 in it. That's probably making around 850, 900 horsepower. Now, this is the engine that was in this truck before we broke the pistons. And then obviously I fixed the engine. She's a little excessive for this, for what we're gonna need to be doing, all the towing. So I'm planning on, I have to build the shop first because the shop, there is a building there, but it's not a shop. Anyways, you'll see when I get there. All of the stuff that does not need to be here is going to be, so all of this stuff is gonna be at the acreage. So this truck is gonna put in an awful lot of work in the next 6 to 8 months. So we gotta get this thing tip top in shape. So I'm gonna actually build a different motor for this thing because, well, who wouldn't do that? So we're gonna build a P-Pump 6.7 tow version for this truck to be able to tow all of my junk out to the new property. I actually just went back and forth to Edmonton. For you guys, that's probably like, well, it's a 3-hour drive each way, a little over 3 hours each way. And I actually went and seen this guy. For you guys, I don't know if any of you guys, let me know down in the comments if you guys know who Twin Sticks is. If you don't, you should check out his channel. Mark's a good dude. So we got a bunch of stuff we got to do this. This is in a short period of time here. Take this into consideration. I'm taking 2 weeks off in May because I need a vacation. And we got to build an engine for this, put it in. We got to get Shay's truck mobilized. I have to finish the truck that's on the dyno there. I have worked on it a little tiny bit, but I just got to get working at it. I'm probably going to spend a day and just get it done. Anyways, this thing's basically good to go other than we got to swap the engine out because 850, 900 horsepower is a little excessive for towing and a little harder on fuel than I need it to be, being basically from where I am here to the acreage, we are basically an hour each way. So I'm gonna be driving back and forth, but I bought another vehicle, which actually will be a video on that soon too, because we're gonna delete it. There'll be a video on that. And because, well, you buy an acreage, you need an excavator, right? So I bought this excavator from a friend of mine. You guys probably, well, some of you guys are gonna know him, might even recognize it. This would be him. We got a few things to do to it. Not an astronomical amount. Sorry, we might get some wind noise here, but anyways, bear with me. For the most part, there's not too much that we need to do to that, but there's a couple things we need to do to that. So there'll be videos on that. And then I went to the auction and we bought some stuff. So this place we got to do concrete. There's no concrete floor in the building that's there now, and I want to extend the building. So like I said, we'll talk about that when we get there, but I'm going to be doing an addition on both sides, and like it's going to get way bigger than it is now. So we needed some tools. Now, man lift, anybody that's ever built a building, you have a man lift, it's mint. And then I bought a compactor just so that we can do compacting of the floor and all that stuff. There'll be a video on this, and probably on the power trowel tool too. This needs a little bit of stuff done to it. So we'll do a video on that. I actually have a start of a video already when we went to go to start it, you know, the old auction find. This probably is going to need some help because we had to drag it on the trailer. But I don't know if it's just because the batteries are dead, if there's something else wrong, we'll get into that. And then the old power trowel. This is actually a question for you guys. Any of you guys concrete finishers? I'm gonna need some help doing concrete. If you were local to me, that would be super cool. Or even if you could just help me with some tips and tricks and hints and stuff. I have poured some concrete, never in the scale that I'm gonna be doing. I basically, if I pay somebody to do the concrete, I can't afford to build the building, or vice versa. So I'm gonna have to do it myself. Wow, self and help from friends and stuff. So we'll get into that. We already started that as well. There's gonna be a short video on that as well. Not that there's anything, it's a Honda. Those things always run. As long as you have a little bit of oil, you have some sort of semblance of gas, they run. So, you know, it is what it is. So that's kind of what I've had going on. That's the reason for the weird videos that I have been doing. Not that they're not easy videos to do, they are, and you guys seem to like to watch them. So I'm probably gonna do some more of those, because in the next 6 months or so, my life is gonna get completely turned upside down with, you know, moving the house and then building a shop, and then, yeah. So we got a lot of work to do in the next little while. So you guys wanna let me know, like obviously I'm gonna show the video of building the P-Pump 6.7. I probably won't show putting it in because you guys have already seen putting them in. You can't really see anything anyway. Maybe I'll do a quick time lapse of it or something. So let me know down in the comments what you guys figure. Lots of people seem to, I like watching the acreage type of stuff. Woo, blocking moves. The acreage type of stuff, fixing equipment and playing around. You know, like I don't know if any of you guys watch Diesel Creek. I watch Diesel Creek all the time. And then, well, I obviously watch Peg, Zip Ties, and Bias Plies because, well, spend. Why not? Fuck it. And, you know, there's other guys too, CNC equipment. There's a bunch of different guys anyway. I like watching that type of stuff as well. Grew up on a farm, playing with equipment, mechanic, you know, blah, blah, blah. I should ask you guys if this is something that interests you. I don't think I've ever showed this on the channel before, but we got Shay's truck on the hoist, obviously. You guys know Shay's truck. We got the brakes and the bearings and all the stuff on the rear, and same with on the front and all that stuff. Ripped apart. Is that something that you guys would like to see? Like I could stuff one side back together quickly and show you how to take it apart. Like, is that something that you guys want to see, how to tension the bearing, or like tension the bearings and what you should check and all that type of stuff on these old girls, the old first gems. And then I can do the same thing to the rear. I've showed that before, but I can show that in there as well. You know, check brakes and that type of stuff. I don't know if that's something that interests you guys. Maybe I should do a video on it, but let me know down in the comments if that's something that interests you. I can do a couple little videos showing that. Then also we're having a problem. That's actually a question maybe any of you guys that have done this before. I've never done it on one of these automatic, staying with a NV205 transfer case. I got this adapter, and we had to shorten the adapter, but I got this adapter to adapt the MP205 to a 47RE. The issue that I have is, I think I'm gonna have to make a collar or something. The issue that I have is it wants to transfer fluid from the transmission to the transfer case. Well, let me get the light so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And I can't put a seal in the rear there because of how far that collar goes on. So what did you guys do there? I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy a seal, and I'm gonna machine the edge of this down and make a collar so that it's actually, I'm gonna machine this down and then build a little collar that comes across that goes down inside the transmission more. I think that's what I'm gonna do, so we can put a seal in there, because it, well, us running it on the dyno and stuff, obviously we kept checking the transmission fluid, and it was leaking a little tiny bit, and I was just like, the transfer case is leaking a little bit, we'll have to remedy that. And then when we emptied it out, we come to find out that it was, the transfer case was right full to the top. So that ain't gonna work. So we're gonna have to play around with that a little bit. I'm not sure 100% what to do. Oh, you know, maybe we can do that. Guess maybe what we could do is we could put the seal in there. We could put a stack another seal and put it the other way. Because on these, usually the seal, you're trying to seal, this cavity usually on one of these is empty, right? There's nothing in it. So the seal is trying to keep the stuff from coming out, not from coming in. Maybe we can just, looks like there's enough room to stack a seal in there. We just stack 2 seals. One going this way, one going that way. And that would stop it from coming out. Huh. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let me know what you guys did. I'm curious. All right. Catch you on the next one. And remember, shiny side up. Or maybe rusty side up. Depends on the truck. All right, catch you.